Hey, welcome to Ed Foodie. We're going to do a quick video today, but it does take a little bit of time to cook all this. If you remember my last video, I was trying to do the next few videos to help people that may be on a tight budget, that they may have been laid off during this coronavirus, or possibly like Catherine and myself, we want to avoid going to the grocery store because of our age. So we try to buy a bunch of items and then make it last for 3 to 4 weeks. So when I made the cabbage rolls the other day, my last video, I cheated a little bit and saved out like maybe a 1/4 pound of the hamburger meat. And so what I'm gonna do is fry that up and pour some spices in there. And then I'm gonna make a couple of baked potatoes, and we're gonna end up having something, I'm just gonna call it twice baked potato. It's just a different version of that. When I made the sauce for the stuffed cabbage rolls, I saved back a little bit of the tomato sauce that I poured on top. So we're gonna use that as a topping. So I'm gonna have a little bit of ground beef on top of the potato and then pour that cabbage roll tomato dressing on top of it. So and we'll see what this tastes like. I think it should be pretty good. So to get started, I'm just gonna use 2 russet potatoes. And I did read somewhere that putting the fork prongs into the potato really doesn't help, but I've always done it and I'm gonna continue to do it. And you may noticed on my comment on the last video about saving the aluminum foil, I did tear off a piece of the aluminum foil also and used it. There's lots of things little things you can do to save money or to avoid going back to the grocery store if you don't want to go. Okay, got 2 baked potatoes. I'm gonna rub just a little bit of olive oil. There's probably a better way to do this, but this is. Just give it a nice little coating so it stays moist. All right, so I'm just gonna pop these in the oven just like this. We're gonna bake them at 400 degrees for about 1 hour. And while the potatoes are cooking, like I said, I got just this little bit. It's like maybe a 1/4 of a pound of hamburger meat. There's not much here, so I'm just gonna use just a little tab of some spices. I'm just gonna put a couple little sprinkles of paprika. You know, maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon of all these. Some comino or cumin. Some oregano, and then maybe a couple of teaspoons of chili powder. What I'm kind of doing is making my own little chili seasoning mix. And you could use some fresh onion. I'm just going to make this real quick. I'm putting a little bit of the dried chopped onions. Now, for this recipe, you know, I'm just using the hamburger meat because, like I said, I pulled some out of the last thing I made. You could have easily got a chicken breast and just sliced it up and put it in here, and 1 chicken breast would be enough for 2 people. Okay, that looks about done already. I'm going to turn this off. And then we'll warm it back up again when the potatoes are done. Okay, so I baked the potatoes for an hour and I've cut them in half. Now I'm just going to scoop out a little bit of the middle part of the potato. I'm going to scoop out as much as I can. Just kind of mash these up a little bit. Now I'm going to mix in my hamburger meat that I cooked up. And like I said earlier, you could put a cooked chicken in here if you wanted to. All right, so now we're just going to scoop this and put it back in the potato. Okay, that looks good. So now here's a little bit of the leftover sauce that I had from the stuffed cabbage. I'm going to scoop a little bit of this on each top, and if you want to know how to make this, you can watch the stuffed cabbage roll video. It's basically diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, a little bit of tomato paste, and then there's a little bit of sauerkraut. You can leave the sauerkraut out if you aren't making the stuffed cabbage. So that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to pop these back in the oven. It's still at 400 degrees. I'm going to put them in there for about 10 or 15 minutes more. You could sprinkle some cheese on here if you wanted to. I'm going to pull them out in 10 minutes and maybe put a little dab of dollop of sour cream on mine. And we're going to just have it as a little snack. You could really load these up and make a whole meal out of it, or it's a nice little side dish to something else. But 10 minutes, we'll get ready to taste them. All right, Catherine will give hers a taste.
Good.
Yeah, it's nothing, really fancy, but I like it. It's a nice little snack, or like I said, you could make it a full meal if you wanted to. You could make 2 or 3 potatoes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay, so here we are. I've dished them up, and we'll take a little taste. I want some. Actually, this might be good. You could just pick it up. No, I'll cut it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like these. The skins are a little bit crunchy, which is really kind of what I was looking for. And again, this is just taking some leftovers from the other day. When I made the cabbage rolls, I kind of pulled back some of the meat, pulled back some of the sauce. I said we had bought plenty of potatoes and cabbage at the store, so you could make a meal out of this if you wanted to, or as a side dish. We're going to have it just as a little snack. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to Ed Foodie right over there. Stay safe and healthy.